Rainbow Six is one of those games where a championship or qualification or anything like that can be lost off one single shot or one piece of missed intel. Hearts can break in the space of about half a second, and that's a really powerful thing to have, both as a player and as a viewer. Rainbow Six esports starts at the grassroots level in nations around the world, where you can play in things like the ESL Premiership, but if you're looking to go one step higher and looking towards Challenger League, you've got to go through the qualifiers to find a spot in the Challenger League. From there, again, if it's lofty ambitions, you can then look towards something like Pro League, where you will find the creme de la creme of teams around the world. If you then feel you've really got what it takes, you can make it towards the Six Invitational, an annual event where in 2019 we saw a prize pool of $2 million. That's the pinnacle that every team aspires to, and in 2019 it was G2 who took that top spot.
Well, MnM were, for me, the dark horse. There wasn't anything we could go off. There was no strategies. They were a new team. There was no previous matches that we could watch VODs on. They were brand new. They were put into this 8-league format where they had to play every single team once. And who did they get first but Team Secret?
Citizen with a massive kill covers the flank potential coming
out.
Oh my god,
they're doing it!
From Freo, and Turtle also picks one on to meet me down to Lack in a 1 versus 4. Gets one for his troubles, has to find another free, trying to...
No, he's down!
No, Turtle will be there, and somehow MnM Gaming take a draw against Team Secret.
They just came out swinging. It was a real slobber knocker of a match, and they managed to pull off the draw 6-6, which nobody could ever have predicted that would happen.
So I was contacted by MnM, and they asked me if I wanted to join their team and play for them at the up-and-coming DreamHack.
All the way from the UK, hoping to maybe what's the saying? It's coming home. Well, we'll see. MnM Gaming joining the stage.
So Team Empire are the Russian giants of Rainbow Six Pro League. So they have a lot of experienced players on their roster that are very scary to play against, especially if it's your first time. So we knew we had a challenge.
He's lost control of the ultimate site, and that is going to allow for him to unfortunately not have a lot of ways to get back in retake whatsoever, as he's been forced out. And there you go, it's Karzeka once again to shut it down.
MnM put up a pretty good fight against Empire yesterday. I think a lot of people weren't really expecting them to bring so much mustard to that fight. Now they're going to be going up against Market, and that's going to be very interesting to watch because Empire rolled through Market with the same ease they rolled through MnM. So both these teams, on paper, should be pretty even.
Down the Funkers are trying to salvage something. Doesn't manage to stop the plant as it will start to go down. Gets another one, so a 1 versus 2, but in the midst, of course, the Fusers win. A 1 versus 1 Funker with a triple. Can he find the 4th? Pulls out the Bailiff. Not a lot of ammo on the Aldo. Will take the time that he knows he has to try and reload the LMG. Constant ties go down, but no, KS. He will man up for his team.
DreamHack was a wake-up call for us. We knew that our roster had the potential to go far and accomplish great things, but we had a few issues that we needed to sort first.
Well, coming off DreamHack Winter had an incredible run, but we knew that the Prem team wasn't the same as that same lineup. Funkers wasn't there. Doki was still at Vex playing on the Prem finals.
Be able to pick up another kill. No, Feral is going to take it from his Citizen. It is going to fall. Pi going to pick up one onto Prox. All now it lies in the hands of Turtle.
And Vex, another clean sweep.
So, as a lot of you know, I played for MnM last week in DreamHack, minus Citizen and Turtle, so it was me and Funkers in their place. So I kind of knew how they played because we've been scrimming for a while as well. And to be fair to MnM, they played exactly how we prepped for them. So we knew how they were going to play.
It hurt a lot, because how much I wanted it there, and I didn't get it. You know, kind of like blew me off a little bit.
After losing 2 close games to Vex on Premiership LAN, I was really mad, and that gave me motivation to practice more.
So if a team hits the bottom like that, they lose in a spot where they themselves expected to win, where others expected them to win, and that weight of kind of expectation is on you and it crumbles, it's very easy for a lot of people to just give up there and just say, look, we failed, we'll leave it, let's just go our separate ways and do our own thing. But the real test of a team, I think, is showing that you have that grit and perseverance to bounce back and say, look at what got us to that stage where we've just suffered that crushing loss. Look at the wins we had, the victories we encountered, the hard work we put in to get to that stage. That's when you'll see a team really tested, and that perseverance to say, we did well before, we can continue doing well. PMA, as we call it, positive mental attitude, carrying that through into the following weeks and months, that's what will define a team and really help them get back on top again.
So coming into 2019, our goal as a team was to make Challenger League, and we felt that that was our next step in gaining an overall goal of Pro League. So the changes that need to happen, they happened. I joined the roster full time, and we've moved Citizen from the UK roster to the main roster to replace Frau.
Challenger League is the way for a player to make it pro in Rainbow. If you want to be a pro, you've got to go through Challenger League, unless you are someone absolutely sublime in the Pro League team goes yoink straight out of the amateur scene. But for everyone else, it's going to be a case of looking straight into Challenger League and going from there. So for every player coming into the start of 2019, that was 100% all they had on their mind. If you were playing in any scene around the world, Challenger League was on your minds.
After the first CL qualifiers, it was going really well, but then after that, it definitely started changing. There was internal issues going on with certain players. Certain players are playing differently from last time, so we knew we had to make a change, otherwise we wouldn't make it.
Early February was a really interesting time for MnM, and I imagine for many in the scene they were looking on and thinking, oh God, not again. Because we saw Prox, the in-game leader, not just a player, your in-game leader leaving the team, and Funkers also went off to go and join a Pro League team in secret, which is a bit of a silver lining, I guess, because at the end of the day, it shows that the organisation can foster talent, and actually the work that they've been putting in is really starting to show, and other teams are seeing it. But it still leaves a team that has got a real chance here at making it into Challenger League, now without 2 of their key players. Where do you go to from there?
When we lost Funkers, we was definitely worried, like, you know, to find another fragger, that's good, you know. It's hard. You should have heard me. I was like, I didn't think we would make it. And then we got Kendry and I was like happy.
So before Epic LAN, Prox was no longer part of MnM, and I'd recently left my old team. I saw a lot of potential in the roster, and I thought that it was coincidentally a good time for me to try and join.
After I left Pact, a while after, Kendry messaged me on WhatsApp asking if I don't want to try qualifying to Challenger League again with MnM. So I found a will to play and came back to the game. When I saw the lineup of MnM, I knew their fragging power is really, really high. This really surprised me by their strats. They were really complicated at some maps.
A person who I spoke to at DreamHack Winter about MnM was Shas from G2, the coach of G2, one of the most experienced coaches we've had. We were talking, just general discussion, and MnM came up in the picture. And I asked him, what do you think of MnM? And he said, never forget this, if MnM don't make Challenger League, then I don't know who will. And that's a lot of pressure whenever the best coach in the world is saying about your team.
There is Valkyrie and a Maestro on the site. Just get destroyed, however. That's good, valuable intel that Saves can now work on from the front door. Kendrick goes for the plant, however. Doki with a beautiful headshot through the walls. Madman picks up Nello in return. Saves will refrag it, however. Diffuser goes down. It's all down to Madman now in a 4 versus 1. And he will pick up 1. He does have vertical control, doesn't have a Nitro available to himself, and that Diffuser is slowly going to start doing his work. He pushes down some metal, but no, he goes down! Saves, eliminates him, and MnM Gaming take round number 11. They take the series 2-1, and they will be your first team in Challenger League Season 9 Europe.
After qualifying for Challenger League, I was really happy, and all the hard work we put in, it paid off.
When we first started, we was like grinding every day. Like, I think we scrimmed like 41 days out of 2 months, which is like, you know, that's just like you just don't do that. Like, you need breaks, but we was grinding hard to get to the position we wanted.
Failing Challenger League 4 times definitely puts a mental block on me. I didn't know whether I could actually make it, didn't know whether I could achieve my goals, started doubting myself. Joining MnM and qualifying definitely proved myself that I can make it, and next step is Pro League.
MnM is a team to be feared from the other Challenger League teams. They're very strong, and when they go into Challenger League, they'll definitely have a strong presence, and I think they'll make out top 2.
So we have ticked our box for qualifying for Challenger League Season 9, and our next goal is the UK Spring Season Premiership.
Coming off the back of playoffs, they'd already shown that they were a formidable team, and that now really set the stage almost perfectly, like it was a fairy tale, to have to go back and face the team that ruined them in playoffs 4 months prior, Vexed.
So personally, Prem, I really want to win it. It's the next step in my career, and there's nothing stopping us this season from not winning it.
MnM 4-1. Surely this is going to be the end of the dream for Vexed, and they are going to be failing to get to the final as Nello looks to move in and plant that diffuser, so that's going to create an additional challenge for Feral here. Dorky looking to move behind him. Feral will hear the barbed wire, but Dorky finishes it off. What a round from Dorky, taking MnM into the final. That was a fantastic fixture.
So Team Secret are an experienced Pro League team, and although they're having a rough time, they are also a force that we should not underestimate, as they won it last season, so they're going to be a challenge.
Goodness, look, I am a little bit worried for Team Secret. I mean, after that matchup against Wind and Rain, there's obviously something going on that means they have their weaknesses, and I think if MnM are going to read into them and really pry them apart, they're going to be able to pull a lot of rounds against Team Secret, and maybe even maps.
Be looking to go aggressive as Stin's going to be hearing. Actually, it's not going to be Stin's going to be playing up close and personal with the Alda. I think they have a suspicion, and here comes the Sophia charges. One will go in, two will go in. Doki finds Stiz. Could this be it? Plebma inside of the 1 versus 2. He finds one onto Doki. But that could be it. Often known as the second best team in the UK. Today they take that away from Team Secret, as they are your ESL Premiership champions for Season 3 of Rainbow Six.
Winning the spring season of UK Premiership has proven to not only myself but the full team that all this commitment and time that we've put in is worth it. Like, it's justified. We are champions, and we can only go up from here.
In a 5 versus 5. We've seen this so many times today, but this time, shotgun on Moto Door. It's Nello to get 2, and Qual will take down Doki, and over by Blue. On a 3rd for Nello, a huge round for the smoke, but it's all up to Sneaky with little HP. He has to rush Moto for the diffuser. He's gonna lose the fight to Nello, a 4K, and MnM Gaming take the match. They take a spot in Pro League in spectacular fashion.
Let's go! Holy shit! Yes! Oh, come on!